Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam. We are in the 6th verse. Rahu grasta devakare dusadrusho maya samachhadanat sanmatra karanopasam haranato yo bhut sushuptav puman pragaswapsameti prabodha samaye ya pratyabhignya yate tasmai shri guru murtaye namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Shri Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. So, in the last verse, we saw the various systems of philosophy and the confusion with regards to the I. That the various approaches of our intellect has. And now in the 6th verse, which is this Rahu Grasta, the Shankaracharya is refuting the main one. Which one? What was the... We saw the different philosophies. All the philosophies have already been refuted by the Shunyavad. Last was Shunyavad. So here the Shunyavad is being addressed, and it is a... what is the Shunyavad? The Shunyavad says that the manifestation comes out of unmanifestation. So what is manifestation? How do you know manifestation? You know manifestation because of your Triputi. The seer seen, seeing, hearer heard, hearing, experiencer experienced, experiencing. Can you hear, Louis?
Almost.
Almost. So, experiencer experienced, experiencing. And so, they say that from nothing, from absence, the Jagrat and Sushupti. And what is Jagrat and Sushupti? It is transactional experience. What is Sushupti? Non-transactional experience, isn't it? There are no transactions. Why there is no transaction? The Triputi is absent. The subject, object and instrument of knowledge is absent in deep sleep. And in waking and dream, both places, subtle and gross, it is available. That is your experience also. See? Correct? The nihilists, the Shunyavadins, they say that from where it has come out? From the deep sleep. So they say deep sleep is the cause. We also say deep sleep is the cause of waking and dream. And waking and dream go back to the causal state. But we call it a causal state. We don't call it the ultimate state. We call it the causal state. And we call the waking and dream as the effect. Deep sleep is the cause, waking and dream is the effect. Waking and dream is transactional state. Here there is, see, very simple to understand. I am seeing. I have taken a position behind the eyes. The eye has taken a position behind the eye. Then I am hearing. What has happened now? Eye has withdrawn from the eyes, and it has come and sat behind the ears. And now what is it? Now I am the hearer eye. Then I shift to the smelling. So now I leave the hearer, the position behind the ears, and I take the position behind the nose. I become the smeller. Correct? So every moment, you are continuously moving from behind the eye, you the consciousness we are talking. You are moving from behind the eye to behind the ears, to behind the nose, to behind the tongue, to behind the skin. Correct? Continuously it's changing. Because it is continuously changing, because the hearer is not the smeller is not the taster is not the seer is not the which one I missed? Which? Listener. So each one is changing, and between the two, they are absent. The person, is it absent? We don't know. But now, we don't know means he is always there. It's not a question of I don't know. We believe and live as if we don't know. What, between the two thoughts, I am there or not? Between seeing and hearing, but I don't see any gap between seeing and hearing. Are you seeing? Yes. Are you hearing? Yes. Is there a gap between the two? It's happening so fast, isn't it? Now, understand that because the eye with reference to eyes is changing to with reference to ears and taking on the definition as hearer and seer and toucher and feeler, has the consciousness changed? Another example. The woman with a reference to husband is the wife, then she withdraws from the husband. Then the son comes in front of her. Then out of the woman, the mother comes out. Then she withdraws the mother. Then she calls her mother-in-law. Then the daughter-in-law comes out. But did the woman withdraw anywhere? The woman was always there. If this example is clear, then the consciousness is always there. The consciousness is always there. So, what is waking and dream? Waking and dream is where the consciousness, consciousness is always. Consciousness is always. So consciousness cannot withdraw. I'll give you another example then. So like woman cannot withdraw. Take another example which we took in the first verse. What is that? There is a light coming. That is specific light. But you can see specific light. But can you see general light? You can't. Can you see general light? You have that particular patch where you can see the specific light. But there is light in this room also. But are you able to see the sunlight here?
No.
Exactly the same. There is general consciousness that you are, but you are only able to see specific reflection of consciousness. When does it happen? When the consciousness reflects on something. What is it? when the subject, object and the Triputi is formed, the Triputi is formed only because there is a reflection of consciousness. Without reflection, it is not possible. You cannot see the objects without the light. So which is this light? The light on the mirror. So which is this light? The reflected consciousness. In that reflected consciousness, you are able to see the thought, or you are able to see the objects. Well, eyes are seeing, the stimuli is going into the mind, the eye consciousness is available, and that light of consciousness reflects on it. Now that consciousness with reference to that particular object, namely color and form, is called the seer. That consciousness with reference to the sound, is called the hearer. That general consciousness with reference to the taste is called the taster, and so on, just like the woman with reference to someone is called some role, isn't it? Now you are understanding the difference between specific consciousness and the general consciousness? Correct? Now what happens in sleep? Now we come to the Shunyavad. Shunyavad says that the Triputis, they withdraw, their source is the deep sleep, and deep sleep is a state of nothingness. There is nothing. They have come out of the Triputi, the seer, seen and the seeing, experiencer, experienced and experiencing, and so on. They have come out of nothingness. They have come out of absence. There is nothing there. Out of absence, they have appeared. You cannot know. Now you tell me, even though you express as mother, daughter, sister, can you deny the mother? You can see the so many different beams of light, in one here, one there. You can't see the general. You can see that specific light only if there is a surface to reflect, isn't it? But there is general light. You can't see it, but you know it is there. Correct? So there are two ways of looking at it. What is the two ways? One is that when everything, that which is manifesting, when the Triputi is manifesting, it withdraws. Every time it is withdrawing. When you withdraw from the seer, seen, seeing, the next Triputi is hearer, heard, hearing. The next Triputi is taster, tasted, tasting. Out of that, the taster, the hearer, the seer, they are the expressions of the reflected consciousness. Other is the object which is being illumined by the eye or the seer or the hearer, isn't it? When this whole thing withdraws, what happens in sleep? Everything withdraws. Now what has happened in withdrawal? Absence. Huh? They say that Triputi has become absent. Vedanta has a different view to it. This is very, in the communication, sometimes we take it for granted. Oh, it has gone back to the absence. But actually what is happening? When you are expressing as the mother, have you become absent? And then you have become the wife. Then you have become absent, and then you have become the some other role. There it is easy, you can see the body. Huh? Now you take it here. When you are withdrawing from seeing, have you become absent? Before you took on the role of hearer? When you withdrew from the hearer, did you become absent? So right now, do the example. Don't intellectually. So everyone look somewhere, be the seer. So seeing is going on. You are seeing the wall, you are seeing the cross, you are seeing the camera, you are seeing whatever. Now withdraw from the seeing and put your attention to hearing. Now you are hearing my words. Now you withdraw from hearing and you feel the chair. Hard, soft, prickly. Now what has happened? When you are shifting from one seer to the hearer to the feeler, did you don't know yourself? Or did you become absent? You were fully there. So what became absent? I'm asking. What became absent? Something became absent.
Just the thought.
Okay.
Money wasn't got absent.
That particular surface on which the light of consciousness was reflecting, that particularized manifestation called the form or the sound or the taste, that became absent. That's all. So what happens in deep sleep? All the triputis, along with the reflection, along with and reflected object on which the light is reflecting, all of them become, meaning the subject, object, and the instrument. All these three become absent. Absent means withdrawn. They don't become absent. They become withdrawn. They become unmanifest. They go back to their nascent state. Why? Because there is nothing to, consciousness is continuously there, but there is nothing to reflect upon. And if it doesn't reflect upon anything, there are two ways. The Buddhists say it is emptiness, it is absence, and we in Vedanta we say that no, it is not absence, you are still conscious. Very simply, we all know that we had a deep sleep, so we are conscious. You understand? So what is happening? Only manifestation and unmanifestation is going on. Manifestation of the Triputi, unmanifestation of the Triputi. Waker, waking world and waking experience is also Triputi. Dreamer, dream world and dream experience is also Triputi. Both of them become absent, and because there is no stimuli or no particularization of the thought taking place when they withdraw. So between seeing and hearing, when there is, what is in between? So you consciously shift your attention from seeing to hearing. In between, what was there? There was no ear and there was no eye. In between the ear and the tongue, as you shift your attention, you have to slow down. I know it is like I am looking at Usha, I withdraw my attention from Usha and I go to Ravi. But in between, there is a chair there. Arey yaar, theek hai, empty. If there is a wall there, arey yaar, phir se. We'll find something. But now you find in yourself that between the two stimuli, was there anything? There was nothing. There was nothing. Because nothing is not, if there is nothing, how will the Triputi will be formed? It needs a surface, it needs a particular surface in order to reflect. Understand what we are saying? Too much. समझ रहा है? हाँ. नहीं, नॉट नहीं किया इसलिए. She is just sitting like this. मैं कहो कर. क्या हो गया? So particularized and non-particularized. So waking and dream is particularized consciousness, and when there is nothing for it to associate with, to coexist with, then it is called non-particularized. And that non-particularized, this is our Vedanta standpoint. So we don't say that deep sleep is a state of emptiness. In general parlance, we do use those words. It is empty, there's nothing there, it is deep sleep. All those words are there. But when you come to really start analyzing, then we say it is waking and dream are the particularized consciousness. Deep sleep is non-particularized consciousness, because consciousness continues to exist. Only it doesn't have anywhere to reflect upon. That's all. This is the argument of this sixth verse. So, Rahu grasta divakarendu sadrusho maya samachhadanat. So, your example are taken that Rahu and the sun and the moon, they are covered. One is covered by the sun is covered by the moon, and the moon is covered by the shadow, not covered by the shadow of the moon, and here the moon is covered by the shadow of the earth. When you talk about from astrology point of view, they say they are swallowed by a snake called as Rahu and Ketu. That is how they speak. Okay, when we see an eclipse going on, where are you seeing? What are you seeing? Complete darkness. But because of that darkness, has the sun or the moon become absent? They are there. Then what is happening? They are not able to reflect because someone is hijacking. The shadow is hijacking. Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. In our mind, in our deep sleep, there is, just as the sun continues to be once it is covered with darkness. Can you see the moon? No. What is there? Nothing. I can't see the moon. So in our language we say nothing, just like that. We don't realize what mistake we are doing, and then that becomes our normal way of thinking. We don't use the word. No, I don't. I can see the moon, but it is covered by the shadow of the earth. Itna lamba sentence, who says this such a long sentence? Can you see the moon? No. Story over. It is understood that it is covered by the shadow of the moon. But we know in an eclipse, the moon continues to be, the sun continues to be. So what is happening here? The consciousness has become sort of eclipsed. That is one way of putting it. Another way of putting it is that it has got nothing to reflect upon. Third way of putting it is the Triputis have withdrawn, or the manifest has become an unmanifest, only to become manifest again afterwards. So which means it is not total darkness, it is only temporary. But what is this darkness? Is this darkness absent? Is this darkness absence? No, it is not. Our approach, Shankaracharya's approach, or our scripture Vedanta approach is that there is no surface, no particular object. How does particularity come about? Space-time objectivity, some conditioning, some way of conditioning. So there is no particularity, so there is no surface to reflect upon, and therefore there is non-particularization. Itna lamba word, who will use such a long word? So we use that there is absence. But actually it is only non-particularization. Now, difference between non-particularization and absence or nothingness, shunya, is what? That in non-particularization, the consciousness continues to be without any surface to reflect upon. In absence, we are not bringing the consciousness. We are saying there is the basis, the foundation is nothingness. The foundation is ignorance. This is the main difference. So Shankaracharya here, he said Deha Pranam Apindriyana. So all the philosophies he talked about, but he is dedicated one verse only to the Shunyavadins. Because the Shunyavadins are very smart. They have already defeated all the other five. So Shankaracharya, who will argue with everyone? I don't want to. Vadina, I don't want to argue with anyone. But I will put my point forward. So he didn't go around defeating all the philosophies. He only found one who had defeated others. Who was that? Mandan Mishra. And he defeated. He was a Buddhist. He was Shunyavadin. He defeated him, and then he became Vedanti. He convinced him. Now question is, are we convinced? So we as consciousness continue to shine forth, sometimes reflecting against objects, sometimes continue to reflect without any objects. So deep sleep is not a state of absence. Deep sleep is a state of non-particularization, where no objects are available for the consciousness to reflect. Because it is me, the general consciousness, which when it reflects on the names and colors, that same consciousness is called the seer. When that same general consciousness reflects on the sounds, that same general consciousness is called the hearer. That same general, then it withdraws. Then again that same general consciousness it becomes available to the taste. Then that same general consciousness, I, now take the position of taster. So all the particular consciousnesses with respect to particular stimuli are coming and going, because Triputi is coming at a time. I cannot come by itself. Reflected I cannot come by itself. It needs reflected I needs a mirror. Sun cannot reflect by itself. You understand? So you are which one? You are not the mind eye. You are not the mirror eye. You are the conscious eye, the general. And that reflection takes place as the seer, as the hearer, as the taster. And that consciousness, that light of consciousness continues to be, even when there are no there is no particularization on which the consciousness can reflect. This is our Shankaracharya's argument. And therefore consciousness is. Therefore truth is. Because if I put my hand in that light, particular in that specific light, or in the general, if I go outside, there is a general light. Leave it here, go outside, put your, see, you stand in the shadow, you put your hand in the, so bright hand you will see, and dull body, rest of the body you will see. General light, and that is specific light. But when you withdraw your hand from that light, the general light is still continuing. Same way the general consciousness, which is the infinite consciousness, it is continuing. It has not withdrawn. It cannot withdraw. Only the particular, only the reflected consciousness on the Triputi can withdraw. You understand? So, is deep sleep a Triputi? Is deep sleep a Triputi? Triputi means triad. Is in, so seer, seen, seeing, hearer, heard, hearing, sleeper, slept, sleeping. Is there a Triputi formed in deep sleep? No. So we cannot know utter darkness, utter absence we cannot know, isn't it? Just like general light we don't know, only particular light we know. Oh, look, I am seeing my hand. In the dark, in the night I am not able to see. In the day I am able to see my hand. But same hand, when I take it in that specific light, I can see it brighter. I can see all the hair also. You're understanding? So we can't see, I can see the particular light, but I can't see the general light. I can see I am the hearer, I am seer, I am taster, I can come to know all these, but I am the general consciousness who's never come and gone. I can't know it objectively, isn't it? What else can you not know? Consciousness you cannot know objectively. Absence also you cannot know. Darkness also you cannot know. Because darkness is, what did we say darkness is? Or absence is? Or emptiness is? Or nothingness is? What is it? Non-particularization of a Triputi. So all that has happened in deep sleep is the Triputi has stopped forming, consciousness is still there, but somewhere we have been made to believe, or we have made ourselves believe, that it is the deep sleep state, that we have to, scriptures also talk about it, we are not saying that we have been made to believe, but that because they go from your immediate experience and then take you higher and higher, and we are at Dakshinamurti Stotram where it is being told that in deep sleep also you are the consciousness, but it is covered by the veil of, now we come to, remember what we did last time, ignorance expresses as delusion and illusion. Ignorance expresses as delusion and illusion. So, from the deep sleep, from the delusion alone, first there is ignorance. I don't know the self, I don't know the consciousness. Then there is delusion, that I don't know the snake, the rope, and then there is illusion, that I am seeing the snake. Ignorance expresses as I don't know this rope, and then the illusion is I am seeing a snake. Now, you are doing, we are, when we say Maya Maya expresses as delusion and illusion. I am not seeing the self. I don't know where I was. In meditation also people say, I don't know where I was. Who else knows? You only went into meditation. If you don't know, then don't go into meditation. क्यों अपने आप को कंफ्यूज कर रहे हो? You understood Hindi? Good. Why are you confusing yourself? I don't know where I was, but I was somewhere. It felt very nice. Sleep also feels very nice. I felt very rested. Sleep also feels very rested. I was not identified with body. Sleep also you are not identified with body. There was no disturbance. In sleep also there is no disturbance. So you are withdrawn from the world, you are withdrawn from the senses, you are withdrawn from the mind, you are withdrawn from the body, you are withdrawn from the past or the future. You are withdrawn from all particularization, isn't it? Meditation is also like that only. You withdraw from all particularization, and then you say, I was sitting in meditation, and then you say, I don't know where I was. We are just analyzing everything, where we are going. It happens to every one of us. So are we nothing? Or are we, I am or I am not? Question is this. Just like before, is our attention on the mind or is our attention on the consciousness? Is our attention on the mirror? Then the language is different. If our attention is on the sun, then the language is different. Remember? Same way, when our attention is on we can see the particular light, and when that reflecting medium is withdrawn, the general light continues to be. Then I cannot see the particular light anywhere. General light is continuing. Same way, in the deep sleep, the general consciousness, the infinite consciousness, the pure consciousness continues to be. Where is your attention? When all particularization, all reflecting medium, every triputi withdraws, where are you sitting? Where is your attention? Is it on the consciousness or is it on the objects of the world or is it on the mind? Is it on the absence of the objects? If your attention is on the absence of the particularization, then deep sleep, because your attention is on absence. But if your attention is Aham Mahadipam Bhava, I am the light. Let anyone come and go, who cares? Let the senses be healthy or unhealthy, who cares? Let the hunger or no hunger, who cares? Let there be health or ill health, disease, who cares? See? So where are we? So that's why we give this exercise now, when you are going to sleep, when naturally everything is withdrawing, meaning all particularization is concluding, is getting enveloped, not unfolding but enfolding. Naturally, at that time, where is your attention? Today also I was doing the same exercise, Swamiji, but I don't know, then I only got up in the morning. That means you went to sleep. And if it was on the consciousness, and if you say, Swamiji, I was doing that, but I had a very disturbed sleep at night. I felt awake all night, but then your attention was in the correct place, But now, assessment of that, what has happened, is a wrong assessment. Is a wrong assessment. Because again, your attention went to disturbed mind or disturbed body or a recognition that the body was fidgeting, but there was no thought. Or even if the thought was there, you didn't get disturbed. You kept remaining in that alert wakefulness. Body is turning, you are watching, who cares? But after waking up, you felt, yeah, so because you remember, I didn't sleep. I was awake. And suddenly your data of the world comes into your mind. Oh man, if I didn't sleep, how will I be able to work today? How will I be giving my 100% at work? I hope I don't fall asleep while working. If I don't, I hope I don't fall asleep in front of the computer. All the doubts then start coming. But actually what has happened? You have been always who you are, but your interpretation about yourself is going the wrong way. And that is corrected here. So here he says, Rahu grasta devakarendu sadrusho maya samachhadanat. Just like the shadow covers the sun and the moon, similarly the maya covers the sun, the consciousness. And what are its properties? Delusion and illusion. That is how it is expressing. What is that? Particularization and non-particularization. Now, if you are taking the shadow to be real, then who can help you? If we are taking the sun to be real, then you don't need any help. Shadow also cannot be known. This deep sleep, absence cannot be known. Shunya cannot be known because there is nothing to know there, no particularization. And consciousness also cannot be known. Why? General light, you don't know. You only know specific light. You only know specific light. You don't know general light. You know only specific existence. General existence you don't know. And this is where we get caught up. We think that, and therefore, because I don't know consciousness, then there must be nothing. Because I don't know the world, there is no Triputi, there must be nothing. Arey bhaiya, you are there. And in this way, the deep sleep state, as a response to the Shunyavadins, the Shankaracharya says the deep sleep state is not Shunyam or emptiness, it is pure existence, it is unqualified existence, whereas seer seen reflected consciousness is qualified existence because it is reflecting on something or the other. And in this way, we should not make the mistake that there is nothingness. Nothingness as an object is not there. It's only a word in your head. That's all. There is nothing called nothingness. It's only for what you call communication purposes we use. See, even the space that is there, have you ever seen the space? And what do we call the space? And when we start talking, there is space. What is space? It's absence. Space is not absence. It's bloody accommodating the whole universe. How can it be absence? But very loosely we talk about it as absence. It is one of the space, air, fire, water, earth. The space there is taken as the Akash Tattva. It is the Tattva. It is not absence. It is not nothing. But in general language, when we are talking to each other, sometimes in lectures also, we just use that word, the absence of space. You understand? Because where is transactions going on? Transaction is going on wherever there is particularization, wherever there is qualified existence. Means this is qualified existence. With reference to this, there is a seer. Now transaction can go on. But in deep sleep, there is no transaction going on. Because no transaction is going on, it does not mean that you are not there. Again, this is another way I'm telling. So, deep sleep is non-transactional existence, and there the mind is aware. How can I put it? In sleep or deep sleep, there is non-transactional existence is available, and that which is non-transactional is my nature, which is the self, which is the consciousness. Why? Because it is not reflecting on anything. If it cannot reflect, it cannot transact with anything. So, I hope you have understood, and I have tried to explain. If you are not, don't come to me. Find another teacher. Simple. Again, I have already covered this, that during the waking and the dream state, all our organs of transaction are in functional condition. In deep sleep, they are not in functional condition, they are in unmanifest condition. They are unable to reflect the light of the. And what are they? Here the next one. Sanmatra Karana. Karana is all the various instruments of knowledge. What are they? They are the 5 organs of action, the 5 organs of perception, the pranas, and the antakaran chatushtaya, that is mind, intellect, memory, and ego. All of them become unavailable for transactional purposes. You don't even know you are breathing when you are sleeping. So nothing is available. So the 5 senses, the 5 and the 5 karmendriyani, the hands, legs, speech, genitals and anus, and the mind. Mind here is taken, we can understand mind is equal to mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. So 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 mind is 11. So these are the ekadasha. And so what is happening in waking and dream? The illusory power is fully functional. In the deep sleep, the illusory power is non-functional. Delusion leads to projection. Delusion of something leads to projection of something. So, in waking and dream, what is happening? Vikshepa Shakti. Vikshepa, projecting power. So that is happening. In deep sleep, what is happening? That projecting power has been withdrawn. It is not taking place. Another way of putting it. So, in our deep sleep, all organs, all faculties, they are all dormant. We have explained this. And And it is only when there is a reflecting medium, when there is a particularization, that the I crystallizes. Otherwise it is general. When I put my hand out, then the particular specific light is seen. That is crystallization of light. Otherwise there is general light. So similarly, say one consciousness, when in reference to, when it is reflecting on the color and form, it is called, gets crystallized as seer. Then it gets crystallized as hearer. Then it gets crystallized as knower, experiencer. And you put all these crystallized together, what is it called? Huh? No, same thing is happening in dream also. All these crystallized together are called ego. Individual consciousness. Individual self. The crystallization of personality is because of this. Now you are understanding how you are concretizing yourself again and again, because your attention is not on the consciousness, your attention is on the specific, and with a reference to that specific, it's happening so fast that you take yourself to be the seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, dreamer, waker, sleeper, and all these and I am that . What is that? I am the error. I am the error. And what is the error? The crystallized I. In deep sleep, there is no crystallized I possible. There is no crystallized I possible because there is no reflecting medium. So you are in deep sleep, you are back to the pure consciousness that you are. Technically. Experientially, forget it. That you have to work. Be that. Not work, be that. So, I explained all this in short. It is explained in great detail. If I take every line, maybe not here. We'll have a special one. Go really deep with every word of Shankaracharya. Like we are doing with Amrit Anubhav, whatever is written, every line we are doing. If I do this, we will be here for 6-7 retreats more we need.
So Swamiji, Shankaracharya wrote this poem as well as Bhashyam for this?
Yes.
So he thought that people will not understand that one?
No, you see the Bhashyam, he has written so many things. He wrote Vivek Chudamani. No, he didn't write the Bhashyam. Bhashyam, I'll tell you who is it. Sureshwaracharya has written the Bhashyam. He made so same way he wrote Vivek Chudamani, and someone has written the Bhashyam on Vivek Chudamani also. So we have just taken it in general on top of, but you can go really deep into it. So now, when particularized consciousness expresses, particularized consciousness can only express or manifest when there is some reflecting medium, some object. Subject is called a subject only if there is an object. If there is no object, you are the eternal subject. Correct? When we continue to pursue ourselves as the crystallized I, which is on account of all the reflecting mediums or the particularized objects or this objects as such, this is called and continue. Oh, I am the seer. I am the seer. Yeah, I am the meditator. I have to meditate. What is meditation? Withdraw the senses, withdraw the mind, withdraw the intellect and the consciousness. Where is the attention? On the object. What is the object? Thought. Still on thought. It is not on consciousness, because consciousness does not need to be thought out. It is. What happens this is called, so if I continue Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, and I lose in that chant, I get absorbed so much that I forget space, where I am sitting, time, how much time has passed away. I forget all the objects, eyes are closed or open, but nothing is available because I am intoxicated in the chant of the mantra. What is it called?
Jad Samadhi.
No. Jad, yes, but it is called Savikalpa Samadhi. Savikalpa means Samadhi with a thought. Correct. And what is the thought here? For someone it may be the form of the Lord. For here in this particular example, it was the name of the Lord. So there is Samadhi with form, it is called Shabdanuvit Savikalpa Samadhi. There is Samadhi with sound, which is called Shabdanuvit Drishyanu and Shabdanuvit Savikalpa Samadhi. Understand? And what is Nirvikalpa Samadhi? So here you have a thought. Your attention is on some Triputi. And what is Nirvikalpa Samadhi? Where there is no Triputi. Where all particularization, where all Triputis have withdrawn. But where is your attention? If it was on the consciousness, not as something to be gained, not as something to be realized, not as something to be accessed, not as something to be experienced. Why we meditate? Because we think we are not consciousness, so we want to meditate, we are the consciousness. We meditate because we don't accept that we are the truth. We want to be the truth. Chalo, meditate karte hain. सोचने वाली बात है ये. So because you are not accepting, consciousness doesn't need to be known because you are already it. You are not accepting it. So I need to find a way. Let's go to the retreat. Let's do meditation. Let's do Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But there is Sahaj. How do you do Sahaj? I know going in and coming out, but I don't know to be always. I don't know. I know how to go in and come out. I know how to go into meditation and come out of meditation. Sahaj is that you will never come out. No, then I don't think I will go there. Phatti hai fir. You're scared. So you prefer, nahi, this is handleable. Sahaj, arre baapre. You're understanding? So, wherever there is particularization, there is a thought, and when you are focused intensely on one particular thought, single pointedness, it leads to, like a Nam Japa or Aham Brahmasmi or Om, it will lead to Savikalpa Samadhi. When it withdraws, that also withdraws, it will lead to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Nirvikalpa is there is nothing to reflect upon. There is no stimuli coming up in the mind. Nirvikalpa, free of all thoughts, free of all particularization. That is also deep sleep. That is also meditation, a samadhi, nirvikalpa samadhi. So how do you know where you are? Are you in deep sleep or are you in nirvikalpa samadhi? Both are unknowable, no? You can only know if there is something to reflect upon. Someone asked me this question. So where are you? Like a horse sitting and sleeping, standing and sleeping, meditating. What are you doing? No, I am meditating. No, so when you must have also come across, sometimes suddenly you get pulled in and then you come out. Was I meditating or was I sleeping? The experience of sleep and the experience of nirvikalpa samadhi is exactly the same. Means the symptoms I am talking about, and after effects exactly the same. After nirvikalpa samadhi, absolutely fresh. After deep sleep, absolutely fresh. In deep sleep, no thoughts. Nirvikalpa samadhi, no thoughts. Nirvikalpa samadhi, there is nobody to know. In deep sleep also, there is nothing to know. So where are we? Huh?
So in deep sleep, so there is no jivatma, you say.
Forget it.
It is for not reflect. That is the one which intellect is.
Can you know again you are getting caught up in words. General consciousness. Can you know general light? You can only know specific light. So jivatma is essentially consciousness. But in deep sleep, are you jivatma?
That's what I'm asking.
No. How can it be? There is nothing to reflect upon.
So we are not.
There is nothing to reflect upon. So you are one with your true self. But are you experiencing? No, because you have accepted, I am in deep sleep. And same mistake we make in meditation also. Because we only know empty mind means sleep. We have never come across anything that empty mind means consciousness. And that I am. है ना मजेदार है ना when you think like this. Now next time, while going to sleep, if you want to remain awake, it's easier with this understanding. When you sit in meditation with this understanding, it will be easier. Then you will have no doubt where you were. No body consciousness, no thoughts, no triputi, no particularization, no reflected consciousness, nothing on which the consciousness can reflect. All these symptoms are nirvikalpa samadhi and deep sleep. The general consciousness cannot be known. You can know this particular space. Why? Your attention is on the walls. So, satsang room. General space है, कहाँ है, क्या है, what is there? Same way, general consciousness also cannot be known. If you think about general consciousness as general consciousness, what does our Jnaneshwar Maharaj say? It is blasphemy. It is an abuse to general consciousness. That is pure consciousness. It is an abuse. No words can stick to it. Here he gives a good example. He says, transaction or transactability makes a thing prominent. Non-transactability makes a thing improminent. Correct? Then that is why if a group is there, like you all are there, who is the mischief maker here? Me. Because I am continuously blabbering around. You are sitting quietly. So where is your attention? On me. But if any one of you was making mischief and you started speaking louder than me, then where will your attention go? To Shailaja. Huh? To Shailaja. Then you will not be interested in me. Or not interested, your attention will not be on me. You will become available to the bigger mischief maker. Attentive, from attention point of view. So same way, whichever is the most mischief maker in your, whichever, if seer is more mischief maker, or hearer is more mischief maker, or thinker is more mischief maker, or so many different, or husband is mischief maker, means doing the drama, doing the activity is unstoppable. Automatically the attention goes to that again and again and again. So here he says that if a person, that is why in a group, if a person does not do any work, if a person comes and goes without any transaction, existence is not recognized. Why? Because no activity. He came quietly, he went quietly. But if he comes and shows, hello everyone, how are you? And makes himself known to everyone, helps here, helps there, everywhere. Suddenly everyone starts recognizing it. Oh, so goes without existence is not recognized. We'll ask, oh, you had come, is it? We did not notice you. On the other hand, if another person makes a lot of noise, walks this way and that way, and does so much attention drawing activities, anyone in a group does something, the existence becomes prominent. When the transactions are not there, existence is not prominent. If these lights are working, but if one tube light starts flickering, suddenly our attention goes to that. But when they are all functioning normally, our attention doesn't go to it, isn't it? Exactly the same way. So then he says that non-prominent existence is non-existence. Non-prominent is non-existence. Non-prominent existence is not non-existence. Non-transactionable existence is not prominent existence. It is as though non-existent. So when we use the words that space is nothing, deep sleep there is nothing, these are only as if. Don't take it to be real, because you have been using those words again and again. Therefore it was told, chitta vritti nirodha, that is what you are getting in deep, in nirvikalpa samadhi. That is what you are accessing in deep sleep also. But we forget to do the next one. What is that? Tadadrashtu surupe avasthanam. Be the consciousness. When, not be attentive of the consciousness. Now be the consciousness when the last thought, or when the thoughts are withdrawing themselves. Then what will happen? Once you know the consciousness, then whether thoughts are there or not there, it doesn't matter. But initially, be the consciousness. Don't think of meditation. For us, meditation is like some untoward experience that must happen, which I must remember after coming out of meditation. Nirvikalp is not technically it is an experience of utter peace. But it is not just like you remember deep sleep after waking up that I had a good sleep. Similarly, Nirvikalpa we also say that I had a wonderful meditation, which was nirvikalpa. But what is required at that time? This language is because we have taken it as an experience. But before getting into the meditation or what you are understanding here, if our attention is on the consciousness, then this mistake will not happen. Then straight away into Sahaj, straight away into natural state, straight away into the being the general consciousness. Therefore, general existence in sleep is as though eclipsed because of the avarana shakti and because the organs, the senses, the mind, everything has become unexpressed, or they have enfolded themselves. Why? That is their nature. Even while looking continuously, every moment, so after few seconds, and it gets tired. It needs to close the eyes. No, it is trying to remove the dirt. This, all that is okay. But eyes, the weight of the eyelids, again and again. Same way whatever is happening at the microcosmic level, micro level, that is happening at the macro level also. So same way, the mind is, for some time it is able to open its eyelids, called the waking and dream, and then it closes, goes back to the unmanifest. Because eyes have closed, my vision has not suffered anything. My vision continues to be. Because the mind has withdrawn, all objectivity has withdrawn, consciousness has not gone anywhere, it continues to be. Be that consciousness. Be that consciousness. Sanmatra karanopasamharanata anato yo bhut sushuptaf puman. Samharanata means withdrawn. Not destroyed, but withdrawn. And only because there is no transactional knowledge going on, therefore the general consciousness is not prominent. Just like the general light became prominent when there was a reflecting surface available. The woman became prominent when the husband was available. She became prominent as wife. Other times she is a woman, general. So same way, this general consciousness becomes prominent only when there is something to reflect upon, only when there is a transaction possible. Otherwise, it is always there. But because there is no transaction, to say that there is no consciousness, wrong conclusion. This is what the Shunyavadins say. In Vedanta, we don't accept that. It's only here, as the example is taken, the general consciousness is only eclipsed by the absence of transactions. So, presence and absence. Presence of transactions, now absence of transactions. But this absence is not permanent. Eclipse is not permanent. It is only temporary. Permanent is only one thing. What is that? Consciousness. And that you are. We'll stop here. आगे अभी है और आगे. ओम पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरिः ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम.